you need to spell it, you know, the F-U-C-K probably took a few months, and then this is like a few exclamation mark that was like during when I was spelling shit. I think I called you somewhere there. And then the exclamation mark was like, yeah, that's me handling over the resignation letter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was teaching animation, right? So there's a whole lot of demand doing voice acting for animation, and I've been finding excuses every 2 years at my university to get them to renew my contract for 10 years or so. And at the same time because I decided to become a voiceover, and doing it on the side. And then suddenly my main job of teaching slowly become a part-time job. My voiceover becomes a full-time job, and I'm like, maybe I should move on.
Was there ever like a point, or even now, do you ever regret not finishing the masters? Because going for a masters is quite an undertaking, right?
Yeah, it's quite a journey.
Yeah.
Nope, no regret at all. No regrets at all, plural.
From your parents as well?
I told them, you know what? Maybe this is not for me, in a nicer way.
Like even for myself, right? When I went into like, told my parents that I wanted to go into like a music college to study like music and audio and all that, because my thing last time was I want to be a rock star kind of thing. Right? My mom was like, oh, boy, you don't do this music thing. Later you just end up playing in bars and like getting drunk and doing drugs and like, you know.
Did you?
Dating really hot girls at the bar. So I never got to date any hot girls at the bar.
But you get to play bars?
Yeah. But then the moment I told them that, but look, I'm like performing with this band and we're doing like corporate events like weddings and all that, and like my friends, they work like a whole month at a part-time job during the holidays. They work a whole month, they get like this much. I do one gig, I get like double what they get. And that's like one night and it's fun and I love it.
Yeah, because my mom was like, it seems like you're able to make a living out of it. So as long as it makes you happy, that's great.
Yeah, that's all. Even as a parent myself, like that's all I really care about.
As long as you don't have to pay for their rents and stuff.
Yeah. So if my kids are watching this in the future, and when I graduated, when I got a job at a radio station working as an audio engineer, for a fresh grad, it was considered I was getting paid pretty good. I held that job for less than a year because I couldn't stand it. The job was good, the bosses were nice, the environment, it was a very good environment, but I could not stand clocking into the same place every day.
Is it like some sort of a burnout that you felt like because you're doing the same thing every day?
I don't think it was a burnout.
No?
I feel like I'm a kind of person who cannot exist in the comfort zone for too long.
Right.
Because doing that always doesn't, like somehow or another, it always leads me into like a very low point in life. So did the job at the station, and after a while saved up some money, got to talk to financial people and all that, right, in the station. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try this out. Go into voiceovers. If in 1 year I cannot survive doing this, I'll quit and then I go do a regular full-time job again. It's been what, 11, 12 years now?
Yeah.
After I got married, I had kids and all.
I still remember my reaction when you had kids.
Right, yeah.
My reaction when he had kids was, you told me, dude, I was gonna have my first baby or something.
Yeah.
I say, oh shit.
I was like, yes. That is the perfect, that is the appropriate response.
It's almost bordering condolences. Yeah.
Yep. It is. It is a kind of death, raising a family. The cycle of, raising a family, like having a kid, supporting a family, financial stress, emotional stress, and then like just work going into this zone of like, it's just rinse and repeat lah. And you never grow. Your kids are growing. I think you see your kids growing on it, but you as a person, you don't feel you're growing because you're always doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for most normal people, it's fine, because I think even with other people, I noticed that for them it's like, oh yeah, I work my job, but then when I come back home, I see my kids, I see my family, all that weight disappears and I'm happy again. Yeah. I don't get that.
You don't get that.
I don't get it. I mean, I'm happy to see my kids, but it's not
not the same kind of joy.
Yeah. Like everyone was like, oh my God, congratulations, you're gonna be a father, or you're gonna be so excited. I was like, no man.
I remember our dearest colleague was like, oh, it's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
You know what that is.
Yeah. And I'm like, to me, a blessing is when you buy 4D and you win. Okay? This blessing is a minimum 18-year commitment. Okay? With multiple bills, with expensive education to worry about, healthcare and insurance to worry about. Then you have to put a roof over that. At some point in time, you might have to provide them a vehicle.
Student loans if they didn't get scholarship.
You know, a lot of things. So I'm like, Because here's the thing they don't tell you. When a child is born and you hold it for the first time, they're purple. Yeah.
So you were wondering why she was Thanos at the start.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, they start as Thanos. Huh? Like both my kids when they were born, right after they were born or within that day lah, alright, I would have taken a job. That means like, yeah, and everyone would be like, everyone that I worked with would be like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, your kid is almost gonna be born, or your wife is in the hospital already, or your kid just
you're here finishing a 30-seconder.
And you're here recording
an advertisement.
And I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do? I'm not the one giving up. I'm not the one pushing the bill. I'm the one paying the bill. Yeah, bro. Yeah. How much of your life have you been a priority to yourself? Has that always been a thing, or was it never?
It's something that I never really thought of, like prioritizing myself or whatever. But I suppose when I finally was able to fund my own travels, like go not travel within the country, but actually having a passport to go off somewhere.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like one time I thought that's like a self-love moment. So you sort of found yourself a bit from there. I was like, okay, I think I love traveling. I think I love looking at building that is not from this country. I think I love watching people walking, even stuff like that.
My goals to basically pay for everything and like hopefully don't have to worry about money. Like for the longest time in my life, I've never really had to actively worry about money because I was the kind of person where like if this thing is like 5 ringgit, I don't have 5 ringgit, I don't have it lah. Like I don't care. And you know, back then before I got married and all that, there was an excess. So you know, so I was like, okay lah, you know, I'm making more than I spend. This is good. I can figure out how to like plan my future and everything. So I went into that zone. I was like able to like figure out, okay, how do I plan to retire and all that kind of stuff. And this is like what, early mid-20s, you know. This is like, yeah, I was like, I got this. Once the family card came in, it just became like, it's never enough, dude. It's just never enough. There's always a bill. There's always something. Like we were just talking about fruits. 150 ringgit on fruits a week, bro.
A week.
It's just like a never-ending flow of bills. So honestly, one of the big goals for me is to figure out a way to like just clear those bills, right? And that has been a strong motivation, but at the same time, one of the worst distractions in my life. Bro, have you heard of bank loans? Debt. Yeah. Student loans. Sounds like a lifelong thing to me, bro. But
you see how close you get to the camera.
It's reality, kids. Reality. That's what they don't tell you in school. My friend taught me this. If the solution to a problem is money, that problem is not a problem. Because you have the solution. The solution is money. The question now is how to get the money. Here's where the problem comes in. I'm not good when it comes to trying to earn money for the sake of earning money or doing things solely for the sake of money, right? Audio engineering, I went in because I like it. Singing, I did it. I was able to make money with it because like doing gigs and all because I love it. Voiceovers, I'm able to like survive and do pretty okay at it because I love it. So in my entire life, I've never had to like just do something that I don't like that can pay.
Like you felt like it's forced or something.
Yeah. So like I said, I was in that cycle, right? You got all this like this kind of burden, this kind of stress, and life just feels like a never-ending cycle of just pulling this thing and never ending, right? Yeah. So I needed something new. Like I'm okay to say this now, but like during that stage, I was borderline suicidal. Yeah, I would be driving down the highway with thoughts of throwing the wheel, you know. And this is not when I was like when the kid was coming. This is when I had both kids already.
This is new, by the way.
Yeah, so I knew that there was one thing I really wanted to try, and that was stand-up comedy, right? And I told myself like, you know what, like, if I really end up throwing the wheel and killing myself lah, at least I want to say I tried this. Okay, imagine you're like in full-on survival mode, where every minute, every second counts, everything you do counts. Because any time or energy you waste, like you can never get it back that you could have poured into this thing to get something done, right? I don't know how good a state that is to be in for the long run, but while you're in it, it's very nice because
it's a nice little momentum, isn't it?
It's nice little momentum, and here's the thing, guys. When you're in that state, right? Anything that is not relevant to you going forward gets filtered out. Automatically your brain is like, this is noise. I don't need this. Move.
Yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't matter. Family, friends, whoever come, oh yeah, this person said this, but noise, move. Yeah. It's that simple saying, like, I mean, pardon my French, but ain't nobody got time for that bullshit, right? Because of the pandemic and all, like a lot of live events got shut down and everything. Just right when I was about to go and give my live comedy career a bigger push, it shut everything down. So I kind of felt like, okay, I think this might not be right for me in the long run.
But how does it feel at that point though? Like when you realize that it's gonna be shut down for a while and then you felt like the momentum stopped for a bit.
Here's the thing though. I got into stand-up, right? And I got into video making. The thing that made me stay was making people laugh. So I really had to ask myself that question. Why am I doing this? Do I love stand-up? Do I love making videos? Not really. Not really. I love making people laugh. Like you guys are catching me at a time where like I just got out of another like low point. Being a content creator or a live streamer or whatever you want to call it, there are its emotional up and downs. You know, you do worry about the numbers. You do worry about whether people like what you're putting out and all this kind of stuff. You know, and it weighs heavily. And you're like, how do I improve? How do I get better? What's the game plan? Why are these guys doing so well? Why am I not? Why am I doing different? There's so many questions, right? And it weighed very heavily, but now I'm starting to take some active measures to fix these issues. But it is one of those things where like, even if you do it right, chances are it might not pay off or it might not pay off soon.
Is it an expectation thing?
There is a bit of that.
Because you put a lot of things into it, a lot of effort, a lot of sometimes money. People put a lot of money into it.
So imagine like you run a race, feeling like you're equipped, but then realizing that you cannot win. I will bet money most people who put a video out or put any content out are hoping that someone sees it.
Pretty much.
Right? We all can say, no,
You can say it's for fun. For fun is part of it. If you feel that it's fun, it's great.
Yeah.
It felt like you're not feeling tired at all. You don't feel like you have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, you're kind of lying to say that I'm not doing this for the views. You know.
Yeah.
If I were to force to go into something by whoever, it doesn't have to. I mean, it could be Steven. It could be anyone. It could be my significant other. If I were to force to go into something, my instant defense mechanism is to shut down and say F the shit.
Fair.
I could probably force myself for the next X number of time, but I know instantly this is not giving me, number one, happiness, right? Happiness, and then I'm like, oh man, and every time when you have to go back into it, you feel anxiety. There's panic attacks.
There's dread.
There's this feeling that you just cry for no reason at all. Like you want to find a reason why you're crying, but you can't. Growing up now, like there are things that I decided to stop. Masters, while I'm being part of it, it gives me a lot of anxiety. So like that, I love teaching, by the way, which is, being a lecturer, I found out that I love teaching, but there are other areas in certain jobs where you felt like this is ongoing cycle of death, KPIs, paperworks. I don't like doing that stuff. You have to do it because it's part of your job. But because I was going somewhere with my voiceover career, that sort of, there's this whole burden with that career, that other career, that I decided to say, teaching is now my part-time job. So the whole decision of leaving that job, which I remember I asked you, I'll ask you for advice if I want to go for voiceover full-time, what will be your advice? So you're telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, 40% of me was like, oh shit. I was in teaching for 11 years. There are some good memories there. And also I was in the longest comfort zone in my whole freaking life. I mean, the place was good. It was flexi hour. I come in whenever I have class and I can go out to do voiceover stuff. I mean,
yeah, who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah. Teaching is great, but getting your messages across to another person who might like what you're teaching, but of course there will be a group of people who probably have no clue what animation is all about, or have a wrong sort of expectation what animation is all about. It's a freaking hard industry.
Yeah.
These kind of people, the good ones and the ones who don't get it, they come every freaking semester.
Yeah.
So you get tired after a while.
Yeah.
And that was like no one else is forcing me to go on with the job, but I think at that point I was like, it's kind of dangerous also that I was the one who was forcing myself to go on with that cycle for 10 years. I mean, I'm not saying that I was tired for 10 years, right? But you came up to a point where, why are people like this, man?
Yeah, and then you look back, I was like, wait, what? 10 years ago, they didn't change.
I became a person who's like, why are you like this?
That's 90% of the comments I get on my stream these days.
Like, I don't care if you can't draw. I don't care if by the end of 14 weeks you still suck at this.
Yeah.
But at least I sort of open your eyes in a certain way. But at least one eye doesn't matter. But if you open a third eye, awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're still somewhat
still blind,
deliberately.
Yeah.
Deliberately blinding yourself, then I'm like, what the hell are you even in this place?
Yep.
You're wasting money,
time, money. Yeah.
And then you're probably gonna be there for 4 years, 5, 6 years if you repeat and repeat and repeat.
Okay, I've experienced the 1 year rocket ride where like it's tunnel vision, there's no noise, right? But now is that next step of like, okay, how do you recreate that? But this time in a more sustainable fashion. It's tiny things, when you're trying to work at that pace, right? Just trying to remember, okay, what do I have to do today? That takes up brain power. That takes up seconds. Trying to sit there and think what you're trying to do. Write it out, put it down. Don't know, look. Now it's this stage where like, okay, getting all these things out of the way, all right, whether it's pre-planning or like just like listing down task lists or scheduling calendars or like pre-organizing stuff and all that. So that when it comes time to do the creative stuff, or when you need to be all in creatively, right, you're able to. I am very, very worried for myself because I don't see a lot of creators my age starting their journey. You know,
Around here or not everywhere else?
not anywhere, dude.
Right.
Not anywhere. I'm sure there are a few, but I'm not aware of them. Right? And I'm one of those that I don't want to include my family in my content. Because when you live thing to thing, live stream to live stream, video to video, TikTok to TikTok, post, you will hate yourself so much. God.
See Steven as your mentor.
I could.
Okay. So moving from that.
Moving on from there. Steven is like the car that drove too fast and overtook you like a jackass, and then got into a car accident in front, and then you're like, this is what I shouldn't do. Basically, from a very young age, I learned that things can be taken away very quickly. Things can change very, very quickly. Sometimes you can let the world do it to you, or sometimes you can do it for yourself. And somehow taking control of your own life and deciding for yourself that you want to change this, you want to change that. Usually I feel that's better than letting the world decide when and what it wants to take away from you, you know? Like the transitions I've had to make is being more willing than ever for myself to step out of my comfort zones to do things. The other option, all right, of not transitioning will basically kill me. Because that not transitioning means you won't be adapting to new situations. You won't be figuring out how to survive and thrive, you know, and you're not exploring anymore.
Yeah, you won't be learning new things.
You're stagnant.
Sometimes learning new things it gives you new form of life.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. People need to understand themselves better. People need to take time to understand and figure themselves out a bit. You know, because I can totally understand someone working what I would think is a boring job. All right, maybe someone who's just doing the same task over and over again.
They might enjoy it.
Yeah, or just dealing paperwork. Dude, they might enjoy it. They might not enjoy it.
They might. Yeah.
Right. But at the end of it, it's that thing where even if they don't enjoy it, right? There are other things in life that they do enjoy enough that they're like, you know what? I'm willing to do this because it allows me to do this other thing. So always find a balance.
Yeah.
I've never been a firm believer of the statement do what you love, because I think that's not realistic. If everybody did what they love, the world would not be able to run.
I would be sleeping.
Yeah.
To gratefulness and happiness.
The other day I walked past the shop. I saw a buy and then I wanted to get it.
Then you buy lah?
I buy the buy.
What'd you buy?
I bought quite a few buy. But you know what? Very good buy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But this is not end yet, right?
No, it's just goodbye.
Goodbye lah, not goodbye. Not goodbye.
No,
Farewell.
goodbye.
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 It's a good tea.
See you guys. Bye.